Good evening, everyone. Disturbing allegations tonight from some of the top brass at Cape Fear Community College.
Two senior-level employees who just resigned from the college now going public with accusations other employees have been bringing to us off the record for years. WECT's Ann McAdams joins us now with details. And this has to do with the college president, Jim Morton.
And that's right. We spoke to half a dozen high-level people who are still employed with the college or who have just left. They shared very similar concerns of a hostile work environment and a general lack of professionalism at the highest levels of the college. One even provided audio recordings to back up their claims.
I know in the past, employees have written letters to the board.
Sharon Smith left CFCC as the Executive Director of Human Resources in November. She says in 20 years in human resources, she has never seen the level of dysfunction she witnessed at Cape Fear.
At a high level, they're very quick to make judgments of people. They listen to rumors and gossip, and that is how they base a lot of their decisions and form their opinions of other people.
Co-worker Kumar Lakavani served as CFCC's Information Technology Director before resigning in December.
I just didn't agree with a lot of what was going on, and I took a lower level, much less paying job in Winston-Salem. I would have rather stayed at Cape Fear, but the environment was just too toxic.
Many viewers and college employees questioned the decision to make Jim Morton president when he was promoted to that position in 2018. His relative lack of credentials for a college president and the board's decision to hire him without conducting a thorough search caused the concerns. Now, employees say he has turned the college into a police state, with people concerned their communication is being monitored and their jobs are on the line for reasons that have nothing to do with job performance. Sharon Smith, who as head of HR was in a position to know, says she has witnessed retaliatory behavior where good people were set up to fail and were pushed out after years of service to the college.
If it were a private company, you would be disappointed and you'd move on. Here, I just felt like it's important for folks to know and to help the people that are left behind who are trying to make it a good place and are still having to deal with this type of behavior.
Insiders tell us about top job openings at the public college not being advertised and being filled by the president's friends and allies. Many also noted Morton's unusually close relationship with his administrative assistant, who's making $105,000 a year, tens of thousands more than some deans and academic program directors at the college. Morton says she's filling 2 positions and sent us salary information for people in similar positions at UNCW for comparison. Lakavani says when he finally decided to put in his 2 weeks' notice, Morton humiliated him in front of his entire team by forcing him to clear out his office early.
I felt like someone kicked me in the stomach. I gave my heart and soul to that college for 2.5 years. We worked Saturdays and Sundays. My staff is taking calls at 6 a.m. every morning. I've helped us open on Saturdays now and there because of the pressure. I've got people working through the holidays. I've got a staff member working on 25th of December because he asked us to.
Morton tells us he only offered Lakavani the option to leave early, but did not demand it. Afraid people might not believe how bad the situation was, Sharon Smith recorded some of her conversations in the president's suite before leaving the college. She played the tapes for us and provided transcripts. Jim Morton and his executive assistant, Michelle Lee, are heard calling a fellow CFCC executive paranoid and crazy. Smith says rather than going directly to the employee with performance concerns and giving her the chance to improve or be terminated, Morton effectively ignored the behavior and even helped the woman get a top job at another school. He is heard on the tape saying, quote, "Let it be their problem, get her out of here." Back to you.
Morton declined our request for an on-camera interview to discuss these allegations, but did provide a 4-page written response, which we've posted on our website. In it, Morton says he has a positive working relationship with faculty and staff and denied any inappropriate relationship with his executive assistant.
New at 11 tonight, some disappointed employees at Cape Fear Community College. Concerns from employees and former employees about college leadership apparently did not make much of an impact with members of the Board of Trustees. WECT's Ann McAdams attended the trustees meeting tonight, the first since 2 outgoing college executives went on our newscast and described what they called a hostile work environment at CFCC.
An unusually large turnout tonight at Cape Fear Community College for the Board of Trustees meeting. Many of them were faculty members who said they came to see what would happen to President Jim Morton after two senior level executives here at the college came to talk to WECT after they had resigned their positions and told us some disturbing stories, what they described as mismanagement at the college and also a dysfunctional and hostile work environment. The board went into closed session for about an hour tonight, and afterwards they came out of that closed session and 5 different board members went on the record to say they have the utmost confidence in Jim Morton's leadership and they think things are moving in the right direction at Cape Fear Community College.
A story WECT broke in January is now making state and national headlines. It deals with leadership concerns at Cape Fear Community College.
Outgoing executives went on the record with us claiming retaliation and a lack of professionalism at the highest levels of the college prompted them to speak out. And WECT's Ann McAdams has followed this story for months, even taking some criticism from a CFCC board member for covering the story at all.
Back in January, CFCC board member Pat Kusek said it was unfortunate that one network and one reporter was pushing this story about leadership concerns at the college. Now, an education think tank in Raleigh has done its own report, and the story was also picked up by the National Review. In addition to the 2 outgoing executives who questioned President Jim Morton's leadership, more than 30 other employees and former employees shared similar concerns with us, but did not want to go on the record for fear of retaliation. The James G. Martin Center in Raleigh reports the state is now weighing in on this. We confirm that the State Community College System President, Peter Hans, has asked CFCC to conduct an independent climate survey where faculty and staff can confidentially share their concerns. The state says it continues to closely monitor the situation at Cape Fear. The National Review Online called the CFCC situation an abuse of power. The report states that rather than exerting independent oversight of the president, the Board of Trustees is in league with him. WECT has repeatedly asked President Jim Morton for an on-camera interview. He has declined, but has denied many of the claims against him and says the college is a wonderful place to work.
Investigative reporter Ann McAdams has uncovered new information that raises further questions about how the school is being run. Now, what did you find out now, Ann?
John, we got a tip that as soon as we started asking questions for our CFCC story in January, President Morton started making frequent trips to the school's attorney's office for advice on how to handle the press. So we submitted a public records request for the amount of public money CFCC had spent on legal fees and noticed an eye-popping difference in their monthly expenses before and after we started asking questions.
Warden Smith has served as Cape Fear Community College's legal counsel for at least 5 years. Attorneys there draft contracts, defend the college if it gets sued, and provide general legal advice as issues arise. In 2019, the college spent on average about $2,100 a month in legal fees. But in January of 2020, the same month, WECT broke a story where high-level executives questioned Jim Morton's leadership as college president. CFCC's legal expenses topped $19,000, 9 times higher than average. The following month, when fallout from the story continued after the college board met to discuss concerns about Morton, legal expenses soared to $27,000. We asked the college for itemized bills to explain the sudden spike in spending. They refused, citing attorney-client privilege.
Unless something extraordinary has happened, the invoices of law firms or attorneys are public record.
Attorney Amanda Martin is general counsel for the North Carolina Press Association and disagrees with CFCC's position. She says, and the North Carolina School of Government agrees, that itemized invoices from attorneys are financial records, not privileged communication.
The public should be privy to as much information as they possibly can with regard to how public governmental bodies are exercising their governmental authority and responsibilities, and in particular, spending public money.
The courts have taken a look at this very issue after a newspaper sued the town of Kitty Hawk in 2004 when they refused to provide itemized bills to explain their own skyrocketing legal expenses. The court ruled that itemized bills from the attorneys are a public record and ordered the town to give them to the paper. We asked CFCC if they were being sued, a potential explanation for the significantly higher bills, but again did not get an answer. CFCC's repeated refusal to share or simply explain their legal bills heightens concerns that they may have indeed been paying lawyers to help with spend control, perhaps even drafting a 4-page response Morton sent us in January, answering questions about his leadership. Notably, the document Morton sent refers to him in the third person, giving the impression that at the very least, he didn't write it. The college won't tell us who did. Another reason the itemized bills could be significant, in 2015, when the college was reeling from bad press, a former president hired a PR firm to help improve their messaging. The state auditor later found that the $7,500 the college spent at the time was not an appropriate use of public money, considering it a personal expense for the president at the time, rather than money spent to advance the mission of the college.
The best way to manage the public perception is to manage government well, not to, after the fact, try to bring in someone to craft spin. In this case that you're looking at, if that's why a law firm has been hired, I think it's even more suspect to hire lawyers to do that.
One question the college has responded to, whether they will hire an outside firm to conduct a climate survey of faculty and staff, as the state community college system had suggested to address concerns about morale. CFCC says they have no plans to conduct that survey. Back to you.